Okay, it's been like what? 2 months? 3 months? Something like that. My last video was the Johnny Walker review. That was a long while back, and I'm sorry, guys. What it really breaks down to was the lack of a webcam that worked. Um, I've secured a webcam for this video, though. Don't know when the next one will be after this, but I needed to get this one done because this is a movie. I don't have the copy here with me, but it was a movie that was sent to me to review from the director to review. It's called Day of Violence. And mm, what drew me to this movie was the inclusion of Giovanni Lombardo Radice in the cast. And Giovanni Lombardo Radice is an actor who's probably best known as Italy's whipping boy. He was in City of the Living Dead. He was in Cannibal Ferox. He was in A House on the Edge of the Park. He usually plays a scumbaggy villain who gets some sort of graphic death. It's pretty much what he plays here. Okay, let me explain the story a bit. There's a gangster named Mitchell, and Mitchell is hired by his boss to kill a drug dealer named Topper, played by Radice. He finds the money that he was supposed to collect, and he decides to steal it in order to give to, and I don't want to spoil too much, but to give to a woman that he wronged in the past in hopes of redeeming himself. And of course, his boss just doesn't let this happen. I honestly think that this is a very good, violent film. It's a throwback to Italian crime films, which the 1970s, which I've never watched, but I'm familiar with. Like, what is it called? Live Like a Man, Die Like a Cop, or maybe the reverse. I can't really remember, but it's supposed to be like that. And from what I can tell, it really does feel like an Italian movie, even though the cast, other than Giovanni, are British. It still has a very Italian feel to it that I think works very well for what's trying to succeed. Um, I guess I should talk about the performances here. In the role of Mitchell, I think his name's Nick Rendell. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but Nick Rendell does a very good job. He conveys so many different emotions over the very tight pacing of the film. Over the course of a short 90 minutes, we see him as a brutal, vicious killer, as a man searching for redemption, and just as a guy who's trying to make it through a very rough business. He really does shine in this movie. Lombardo Radice, in his very small role as Hopper, the drug dealer, sort of steals the show. Even though he dies before the opening credits. Um, he has like his apartment's a mess. It has satanic symbols all over the place. He's bald. He's all fucked up looking. He's got this huge, weird beard. He's fucked up beyond belief. He's really a scummy, over the top, awesome character. And this, no matter how small, it's one of the best Giovanni characters I can think of. One of my favorites, at least. I think that in terms of acting, if there's one flaw, it's Victor D. Thorne as the villain. It's not that he's a terrible actor, it's just that he doesn't come across as threatening enough. Which I think one important thing for your villain is he needs to be threatening, and I didn't feel threatened by this guy at all. Christopher Foch, I think his name is. He plays the henchman, the main goon for him. He's pretty good. He's imposing as hell. I like him. The movie's gory as hell too. There's some awesome gore. I mean, not 10 minutes goes by without some of the good old red stuff flowing, I'll tell you what. Um, no nudity that I can remember, but just lots and lots of, when they call it a fucking day of violence, it's violent. They live up to their name. The director, Darren Ward, this is part of a trilogy he's working on. His first movie was Sudden Fury, which had David Warbeck in it. That's cool. I need to see that one. He's working on one right now that's also gonna have Giovanni, called Beyond Fury. And this is like his crime trilogy. And if they're just as good as this one is, I think that's a very solid trilogy, or is going to be at least. He really does well with this. He really knows how to perfectly balanced absurd amounts of ultra violence with genuine human emotion and character. He does a fantastic job with this movie. And I think that if you're into this type of thing, violent crime thrillers, then you would probably like A Day of Violence. Um, for something that's shot for like $100,000, it's amazing. You see those idiots going out there making these stupid, senseless action movies for like $200 million. Then you have Darren Ward over there who made a perfectly fine, even better than most Hollywood action movies, and he only made for about $100,000. Kudos, good. You know what? The world needs to realize that you don't need to spend the annual budget of a third world country in making a movie. I mean, if you could give me the budget of one, what's a movie? If you gave me the budget to Immortals, which is about 75 million, I think I could make movies for the rest of my life. Um, but yeah, I'm going off on a tangent. I'll give A Day of Violence 8 out of 10. It's a very violent, very brutal, very fun, entertaining action film that you actually care about the hero. And also, it's worth it just for Giovanni's character. Darren Ward, I give you a thumbs up, and I say congratulations. You made one hell of a cool movie. Keep it up.